I'm so glad that you found this video. Perhaps there's something in here for you. We're just going to do a reading for the collective and see what comes up. Okay. We need to consider some big changes here. You're contemplating a move that might not make a lot of sense to other people. It might seem a little bit out of nowhere. It's going to hit you with an opportunity. I'm very much feeling that some of you are getting an opportunity to relocate. For some of you, this is more about a career change. Not necessarily, or a big job change with a promotion involved. It's like a lot more responsibility, and it requires you to, is this what I want? It is. It's what you asked for. That things are constantly changing, and they're constantly changing in the direction of what it is that is your highest purpose, your desires, and what it is that you want. And so Spirit wants to share with you that big change, that is for you. And if you are feeling anxious about it, maybe there's something that you need to address, that you need to prepare for. You're more than capable of getting this all handled. You're not going to have any issues with that. It's all going to fall into place in divine timing, which means that you don't get to control it, but it's always in the perfect timing. So just trust that. When we take some nice deep breaths and we let go, that is an act of trust, okay? Take a moment and go, I believe that. Say that to yourself. I believe everything I need comes at the perfect time. I never have to doubt it. It's coming for you. Relax. The Hangman. You've been sitting on this for a minute. You've already done a lot of contemplation about it. It's not a surprise to you that the opportunity exists. You're surprised at how and where from which it came. Wasn't quite what you were expecting. That doesn't matter. It will lead you where you need to go. I've been directed off course entirely. I went entirely in another direction, only to learn a lesson that I hadn't learned and be thrust right back to where I am. I promise you, when you take the time to listen to your heart, when you listen to Spirit and what Spirit is telling you, you don't need to question yourself, and you don't need to run that by anyone else for their opinion. Stop trying to logic through what is intuition. It feels, not thinks. Puppy. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get a... So you feel a little inadequate here. It's always with our repeated cycles, do we recognize that we were unprepared the first time? Well, you're not as unprepared this time. You know what you're getting yourself into, right? You know what you need to do. You also know that you can't necessarily do it alone. And you're not alone. There are people out there that have something to offer. Resources, information, guidance, friendship, camaraderie, and support in other ways, in whatever ways it is, whether it's spiritual or not. Some of you are going back to school. You have decided that you need to add some skills to your bag. You need to fatten up that resume. This is all towards the bigger picture that we've been thinking of that has finally presented itself to us. So yeah, get in that. And you're going to be fine. You're going to be great. Take on the mentor, take the class, enroll for school, start practicing more, do that investigation on your own. Whatever it is that you need to do to add those skills to your bag, that's what you're supposed to be doing right now. You're prepping. So that anxiety that you might be feeling, if it's because you feel unprepared, you don't have to be. And first of all, you're not. It's perfect timing always. But go ahead and utilize those resources. If you've got somebody that's been through this before, ask them. Ask them if you can take up some of their emotional energy because you have some questions about your own life. And if they say, absolutely, then I would like to inquire about this thing. So I think that's really great. Somebody else that might have coming across this has a father figure, an elder, wise type individual that has been trying to tell you this the whole time. The whole time. They've been like, you are not owning your full amazingness. You're not completely putting all the effort in. Perhaps you felt as though you had an obligation or responsibility to those around you, and so you were prioritizing them. And while very honorable intentions, we don't want to forget that the first priority has to be right here. You have to put your own mask on first so you can breathe before you help others. So this one's been telling you that you've been focused on other people for too much. This one is also the energy that wants to direct you back into your masculine energy, which is about taking charge and doing what needs to be done. Now, we don't do these things in rough, aggressive, manipulative, angry ways. These are thought, planned, wise, intelligent moves. And in some cases, they might be moves away. We're moving away from some individuals as well. We're kind of putting some distance and space between some people. I'm just going to go ahead and pull some cards from some of my other decks. The situation for the individual that needs to hear this one. You're being a little bit too obtuse. I say that nicely. You're being a little bit arrogant about the situation. You're not taking into consideration that other people have things going on themselves, that other people have difficulties in their lives and struggles, and not everybody is where you are on this journey. Some people are in a completely different place. There are souls on this planet who have not an inkling of anything that I'm talking about. They come across this video and they go, trash. But you are listening to it and go, why is this lady speaking to me? Well, it's not me. I'm getting messages from spirit. This is a situation for this individual where you are just refusing to see their side of things. You're refusing to look at another perspective, and it's really kind of putting a damper on what it is that you could be accomplishing. It's not necessarily with this person. It's that you're trying to put this person as an excuse. It's you that's causing that conflict because you're not willing to look into what all there is. And that can become a block to thank you. That can become a block to what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Ultimately, the only thing that any of us need to seek out is joy, happiness. What we're trying to accomplish with our life and with everything that we set out to do with it has to do with feeling good. It's important for us to feel good. We want to feel good. We want to move forward. And we cannot do that if we are making excuses, because absolutely no one is responsible for this happiness except for you. So why does it keep getting redirected to, well, if it was this, well, if so-and-so hadn't have done this, well, if that hadn't happened to me when I was 7 years old. And that's not to say that these things don't matter and these things didn't help you become who you are today. But who you are today survived all of that. So none of that is continuing to hold you back unless you're allowing it to. So we need to walk away from that. We're going to pull. That one's peeking at me, the blue flame. Some of you are just waking up to your power. Welcome. Hello. It's good to meet you. Nice to see you where you are today. So I love to address the new folks that are coming into the fold and just recognizing that there is energy and power beyond our comprehensible senses. And if we become open to allowing them senses to partake in this wonderful experience fully, that we will recognize a greater connection between all of us, that there is an energy, a permeating life force that just exists in everything and all things. And you're like, whoa, that's kind of a lot, right? I'm sorry about the dog bouncing through the room. I'm not gonna like stop my house from existing, you know? These new folks are a little bit overwhelmed. So I think you maybe have come across this video, and if this is you and you're going, how do I break this all down? Let's just pick one place to start. Find a page or a reader that you trust. Some of you are just becoming awakened to this new sense of connection, to this new sense of understanding that was beyond you. It's overwhelming. And what we're being asked to do is to seek some mentorship and some information that will allow us to continue this journey in a less overwhelming way. There is absolutely no way that you're going to be able to take all of it in at once. The fact that you're awake and that you're understanding and that you're willing to explore this, that's enough. That's a good start. There is some others here this card is talking to on a deeper level. For some of you who've been here for a while, it's time for the integration of this information, which means that some of us are going to be taking others by the hand. Some of us are going to actually be putting things into action. Some of us are going to stop hiding who we are, stop being afraid to let people know that we feel that we are connected to something much greater than ourselves, and we want to share that with the world. Time to stop hiding. All of this has contributed to your own sense of inner peace, and all of these aspects of you integrating your spirituality into your life more fully, being more authentic, being more in tune with the present, focusing less on these other distractions, these excuses and these things that don't apply to us anymore. It calms everything within you. It allows you to fully become in tune with yourself. You start to feel every little tingle, every little twinge. All of a sudden, you're walking with a completely different intention. You're no longer thinking about everything. You're feeling it all. When we allow our feelings to help us make these bigger decisions, and we stop allowing our sometimes traumatized, overworked, stressed, tired, exhausted brain to think it to death, there's just something very blissful about that. It's like a sense of trust and faith in knowing that you don't have to manipulate every single detail of your life to have the life that you desire. You can experience it, and it will come to you in the way that you choose to experience it. More of those experiences that you allow yourself to become present with will continue to fall into place. There's no extra work required. I don't go out seeking things that make me happy. I just look around me, and there is a lot there that makes me happy. And the more that I notice right here in front of me, being present, that makes me happy, that gives me joy, the more of this I start to notice. Inner peace is not going to be obtained by some mass revelation of all of a sudden I get it. It is more of an understanding and an acceptance that what we want to experience is what we are going to experience, and what we focus on is what we get, and what we think about is what we see. And maybe if we want to feel good, we need to be paying more attention to how we feel with what's going on around us right now. You don't need to necessarily have all the answers either. And I don't think it's going to be the type of situation where everyone's going to fully get that one, but that's okay. We have some individuals here that are wondering if their ancestors are paying attention to what's going on in their life. Because they're like, look at this chaos, ancestors. Look at me, my guides. What's happening? And your guides are like, yeah, baby. Exactly. Yeah, I put you there. I put you there on purpose. Sometimes we're steering people right there. We're being steered away from people. And it may look, we don't know what it's going to look like. Because you don't have no hand in it. It's no direct. It's not like you're going to see, your ancestor's hand reach down and take your hand away from the cell phone. You are not texting him right now. That's not how that works. Instead, your sink started dripping and you had to go fix that. Your kid dropped a bowl of macaroni and you got to clean that up. The dog threw up on the floor. There's so many things and then we go, and you have to go and handle that, right? That was a redirect. That was a redirection. Get away. Just trust it. So, yes, nobody wants to clean up the bowl of macaroni on the floor. But instead of being like, oh, my life, you can go, thank you. Thank you for the redirect. So when these things happen that we get very frustrated about, as soon as we start feeling frustrated, we need to remember that we're in good company, actually. And everything around us is always trying to conspire in our favor. We're going to do a couple more here. Ooh. There are some things that are unbreakable within you. So as much as we have talked about changing and new beginnings and all the things that you're about to embark on and are a little bit afraid of, and all the things that we're letting go of the past and all the things that no longer matter to us or irrelevant to our future. Over time, what this has done is allowed what started as a very rough piece of artwork, a very rough, natural exterior, just raw and authentic. The weathering, the life events, the tumbling, the tossing, the waves getting washed over, start to result in a much more polished look. And what is remaining of that polished stone, the smoother edged, still very authentic, but now it's even more true to itself. There are no extra attachments here. There are no other types of sediment attached to it. It is simply the core of what it truly is. And it's becoming this really great version of itself. I mean, raw stone has a natural beauty. And then over time and with natural events occurring, there's another kind of natural beauty that starts to emerge. So when we look back at our life and we talk about all the things that we've been through and all the things that have shaped us and all these difficulties that we've endured and the things that we've had to come through and because of this and that person and this happened and all of that has just really, really contributed to helping you find your authentic voice, helping you see yourself for who you really are in the best way possible, and adding these little glimmers of beauty along the way, showing you another perspective and showing you another side of beauty that you would not have seen otherwise. you would be sitting there staring at that raw rock and being like, that's all there is. That's not all there is. There's more. And then, yet still, there is a core of truth that remains. That core is who you truly are. And that core is all we truly need to be. That's more than enough. That's perfect. Because we can expand beyond that. That little pebble can travel and can do so much and give so much joy to the world. It doesn't need to be more than just that tiny core of authentic self. The truth of that matter. The truth of that stone. And when it gets to that point, there is just a beauty about it. It becomes something really remarkable. It becomes much more valuable. Others seem to see the beauty and admire it even greater. Because now they can see reflections in it too. You can start to see the reflection of yourself in a polished stone. That's what people see as you develop. As you become you, as you become more true to yourself and more authentic, and all that sediment gets washed and worn away, and you become this very beautiful version of who you started out to be. So, that's all I have to say for today. Much love to you all. Always blessings upon all of us from the Most High. If you're ever in need of personal guidance, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. More information about me is at my website. You're also more than welcome to dig deep or ask any question you'd like. Much love to you all.